Oh, in this video I will talk about the history of the unification of Germany. So it all started in 1806 when Napoleon invaded the Holy Roman Empire. And the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire was Francis II, and he was also the emperor of the Austrian Empire. And when Napoleon defeated Francis II in the Napoleonic Wars, the empire, Francis II resigned his role as emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, and it led to the collapse of the empire, and it also disunified Germany. And eventually, up till 1815, when Napoleon was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo, the Congress of Vienna was held, and one of the very important members of this Congress was Clemens von Metternich, and he was a representative from the Austrian Empire. So he was sent there, and the purpose of this Congress was to make sure that in Europe someone like Napoleon doesn't come up again, and they want to fix Europe and bring it back to their old ways before Napoleon. So the benefit for the Germans in this Congress was that they would gain back the Rhineland, which was originally taken away from them from the Napoleonic Wars, and also the German states. The 39 German states will form a confederacy with the Austrians called the German Confederacy. But the thing about this confederacy was very weak. It was one of the weakest throughout Europe. And another thing about the Congress of Vienna, Metternich, he proposed for the German states to be involved in particularism, which is an ideology where states or countries or empires are self-governed or self-run, and this worked, and a lot of the German states were self-governed, self-run, but the main German state was Prussia, and Prussia was is going to eventually become the Second Reich. The First Reich was the Holy Roman Empire. Second Reich was, as I said, the Prussian Empire, and eventually the Third Reich will be the Nazis. And it was until 1834 when liberalism, thanks to Napoleon, started increasing a lot, and there was a festival called the Hambach Festival. It was located in a German town called Hambach in the Rhineland. Currently, it's in France. But in that festival, they were protesting. The liberals, they were protesting for new laws, new everything. They want, because this confederacy was pretty weak. It was, as I said, the weakest. So the liberals, they didn't like this, so they were protesting. And in this festival, the colors of the German flag were discovered, and they were used. And then in 1834, the Zollverein Agreement was formed between Austria and the 39 German states, which was equated during in the German Confederacy. So those and the entire proposition of the Zollverein was to do trade between the Austrians and the German states. As I said, the German states were pretty weak, so they wanted to build up trade and increase their economy. And it was up till the Industrial Revolution when the economy would start to increase, and the army size started increasing with that too. And eventually, in 1848, the protests in Berlin happened, and the liberals, they had enough with everything that was going on. The country was weak, the economy was going bad, so they were they demanded for a new constitution. And the king of the Prussian Empire at the time, Frederick William III, he agreed upon the terms of the liberals, and he built up this new constitution, and he gained a very nice following with the liberals, and they had very good peace among with the liberals and Frederick William III until 1861 when Frederick William III died and he was replaced by his brother William II. And William II, he was a conservative. He disagreed a lot with the liberals' ideas. He didn't like them. He had a bad relationship with his brother, so the liberals obviously had two good reasons why they should hate this guy. And he gained a very big hate. He gained a lot of hate from the liberals. And in 1861, he wanted to get rid of this liberal situation. So he appointed for his prime minister to be Otto von Bismarck, who at the time was a lawyer and statesman. So eventually, Bismarck, as I said, was a conservative, or the term used at the time, Junker, which is a term to mean someone that's a conservative from a higher class in Germany. So Bismarck, in his very famous speech called the Iron Blood, he proposed a lot of new ideas, and it was a lot of conservative ideas. He introduced realpolitik, which is a term in German meaning reality of politics, and it's supposed to be used as a powerful way to show off politics in Germany. And the liberals didn't like Bismarck a lot because they disagreed with his ideas because he was a conservative one, and two, he was breaking a lot of the new constitution that was formed in 1848. So Bismarck, he was a very good politician, and he was a huge activist towards unification in Germany. So Bismarck, as I said, was a huge advocate for unification, and he would use propaganda a lot to propaganda and nationalism a lot to increase German pride and to get the people more on his side towards unification. And it was up till 1864 when Denmark annexed two cities called Schleswig and Holstein, and those two cities used to be a part of the Holy Roman Empire and German states. So Bismarck, he see that, and he said this is a good time to attack. So he got help from the Austrians, and he pushed and invaded Denmark, and he won. And because of that, he increased German pride, and he got a huge liking from the people, from the German people, because they believed that this guy was actually going to unify Germany. And it was up till 1866 when the Austrians and the Prussians, they were disagreeing upon their border disputes. They were having border disputes between one another. The Austrians, they wanted some land. The Germans, the Prussians wanted some land, and it was this huge disagreement between one another. And and the Austrians had enough, so they declared war on the Prussians, which Bismarck obviously wanted, since he had a good plan on invading the Prussians. And the plan was that he was going to use these new inventions that were used that were invented during the Industrial Revolution, like trains, railroads, and the needle drill, which is a very important and hugely effective gun. And this war was called the 7 Weeks War. The reason it was called the 7 Weeks War, as I said, because of the needle drill. And the needle drill, as I said, was very hugely effective. So because of the win in the 7 Weeks War, Germany gained a lot of their southern eastern lands from the Austrians, and eventually in 1867, the Germans, they also got their northern lands. The northern German states, they were annexed and were agreed to join the Prussian empire agreed to join the Prussians. But there was a huge event that happened in 1866 that led to the full unification of Prussia. And that event was the Spanish Revolution. The Spanish Revolution, it overthrew Isabel II, and as they overthrew her, they were looking for replacements. So it was because of Bismarck, they replaced her with Leopold, who was from the House of Hohenzollern. Who, guess what? The House of Hohenzollern is the same house as Wilhelm I, that Wilhelm I was from. So the French, who were in between this entire situation, didn't like this alliance that was going on, as if they had two major countries, and they were and they had this huge alliance. And the French were worried about this. So Napoleon III, who was Napoleon's nephew, he sent his French ambassador to Prussia to discuss with Wilhelm I about this alliance. And Bismarck, he really wanted to use this as his advantage. So first he lied and put this on the papers that the French ambassador insulted Wilhelm I. You know, this guy is insulting him. You know, he's a very bad guy. And Napoleon III heard about this. So then he declared war upon the Prussians. And this is very great for Bismarck. This is according to his plan. Because Bismarck, he really wanted to invade southern Germany. But the thing about southern Germany, it was occupied by the French, and the southern German states, they didn't want to join. This empire, because they didn't want to join Prussia, as the southern German states, the people were Catholic, and the northern German states were Protestant. And obviously, you know, there's like this whole conflict between Protestant and Catholics. It's thanks to Martin Luther and all that, and so they didn't want to join. And Bismarck used this meeting between the ambassador and the king to start a war. So he started the war. It began in 1870, and the French were destroyed. The Germans annexed the few lands that the French occupied. They fully annexed the south, and it eventually, in January 1871. Germany was unified, and on that day, Wilhelm I, he took upon this title of Kaiser, which means, you know, king and all that in German, and Bismarck, he took upon this title of Chancellor, which is some sort of like a prime minister, basically, and everything was going good until 1888, when Wilhelm II died and was replaced. No, Wilhelm I died and was replaced by Kaiser Wilhelm II. And Kaiser Wilhelm II, he then forced Bismarck to resign. And because of that, it led to the First World War, and then Germany was, you know, over and all that, and yeah. So that's the entire history of the unification of Germany. So I hope you liked this video, and see you later. Bye!